Hi, this is Pearl and welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a process video on these two pictures. It's of my parents and a big deal. They're coming to my daughter's competition, dance competition. Now the reason that this is a big deal is because most events happen on Saturday, whether it's the boys' soccer game or dance or piano recital. And my parents are Seventh-day Adventists, which means they go to church on Saturday, so they have not come to any of my kids' performances or anything. But for some reason, they decided to come to my daughter's dance competition. So I am taking this and cut the two pictures. They're 3x4 and I am backing them onto white cardstock. And then I'm going to cut those down. And I'm going to do my layout on 12x12 basil white cardstock. Now after I go ahead and mat these, I'm going to pencil in where I think I'm going to do my layout. And this is going to be a horizontal layout this time. Or it could be a T as well, a sideways T, depending on how you look at it. But my intention was to initially do a horizontal layout. So I'm going to go ahead and pencil mark where the pictures are going to go so I know where to do my journaling. I am going to use a We Are Memory Keepers typecast typewriter, and I'm using this because I'm at a crop and they didn't have a wide format printer. And anytime I need to do long journaling, I like to type it out versus handwriting, because I could get more journaling in. And I left this part in, my struggles with getting cardstock into the We Are Memory Keepers typecast. I struggle with it every time I use cardstock. And you can see on top of that paper that it's always bent. Happens every time. If any of you guys know how to put cardstock into this typewriter without bending it, please leave a comment down below and let me know. So let me read what my journaling is. Most of the kids' games and dances are on Saturdays. Since my parents are strict Adventists, I had stopped inviting them to any of the kids' events. Of course, the kids would ask why Harmony and Harabaji, which is grandma and grandpa in Korean, never attended. I told the kids that I didn't invite them. For some odd reason, one that I will never understand, my parents came to Kaya's first dance competition, which was on a Saturday, and this was right after they came back from vacation with Roy and Sehi. They drove up early Saturday morning to watch Kaya dance at 8 a.m. I was still in shock a few days later when my mom had a stroke and passed away. It's like she knew the end was near and did one thing that would make me extremely happy. Thank you, Mom, for making that happen. So this was the weekend before she passed away, which I think is so weird. And I don't know if you guys believe in those weird chances or coincidences or fate, but this was one area where my mom and I had disagreed before. I had come to accept that that's just how she was and I wasn't going to change her, but it was nice that she was able to come and watch one of my kids' performances before she passed away. So after I type that, I'm going to take it out of the typewriter and I'm going to start doing the layers of my pictures. Now I'm going to layer both of the pictures side by side. Initially I thought I would do it kind of at an angle so that it made like a heart, but I decided to do it side by side instead. I'm learning that I do love straight lines, and I'm going to mat that on the pink polka dot paper, and I'm using my Caterpillar Pro crop, and I love it because the LED light turns on so you know exactly where you're cutting. So I cut that down. Then I'm going to look for other scraps to layer my photo. I'm using this black and white, and I'm going to trim it so that the black scallop part shows when I layer it onto the photo. After that, I'm going to use a yellow striped for contrast of color, and I'm just using some scraps that I have. And you'll notice that I'm just putting adhesive towards the middle of the paper. This way I can put foam adhesive onto the corners and sides to give it some dimension. I'm using this heart paper next, and I'm going to make it come down to the bottom, and I'm going to layer that. This is also a scrap because I'd used parts of it before, but I had used scissors to cut it so it wasn't straight. So you saw me straightening that edge first. Then I'm using those pieces of paper that, or the piece that came with the front of the kit that showed what kind of papers were in there. They're the 1 by 3, I think, inch. And I'm layering it, the one that says love, to the bottom right hand corner. Now I'm adhering that down to the layout, and I'm counting out the letters to see if that's gonna fit on just right on top of the journaling. And my layout is pigs do fly, because I used to tell my friends, oh, my parents will never come. They'll come to some function like this when pigs fly. So that's why I titled this Pigs Do Fly. Now these are the alphas that came with this kit. This kit is so beautiful. If it's still available, you should go out and get it. It's so easy to use. Now I'm using the Stampin' Up! Foam Dimensionals to pop up the corners. Then I'm going to go through my embellishments that came with the kit to see what embellishments I can use. Now the journaling is really long here, so I'm not going to put a lot of embellishments on because I do want the focus to be on the story. I'm using my black crochet thread to thread the tag. I'm going to put that to the top left, and then I put the flowers that I die cut to the top left and the bottom right, and I put a felt heart to the right of the pigs do fly. Then I sprinkle it, and then I use the Nuvo drops, and I call this done. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.